Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? It's Vicky Omifalaji from Vicky O Show. Welcome to the show today. Today, again, I've got Myrna Widlend, the Vision Board Queen, and we will be delving so much into Vision Board activities. So, if you're on, just be on the lookout for when we get started. Mina, she's going to go take us through the process of developing a vision board for 2021. It's going to be exciting, so you don't want to miss it. But before we get Mina in, can I just say a very big thank you to our sponsors, the sponsors of today's show. Um, Capstone Medical Center is one of them. They are based in Bairnsdale in Victoria. Fantastic group of doctors doing wonders within that community by providing medical services to the members of the community. They are wonderful. They've got fantastic bedside manner. Check them out. 5152-7135. That's their number. Give them a call. Now, the other group of people that we want to say a big thank you to is they're called Eminent Design. They're based in United Kingdom, in Aylesbury, in United Kingdom. They are more into African prints that they um, they use it to design different kinds of things, from headscarf to beautiful dresses to even face mask. So Eminent Design in Aylesbury, United Kingdom, check them out. So that's Eminent Design in Aylesbury, United Kingdom. Put in your order. You will be able to get £5 discount on whatever you order for. Now, the last thing I would like to call your attention to, if you're an entrepreneur and you are not on this yet, I will strongly advise that you jump on and be one of those 100 fantastic entrepreneurs. Everyone has been claiming their chapters. So claim your chapter today. Claim your chapter today. All that you need is to have your picture of beautiful, lovely, clear picture in high definition ready, and then you need to have a story, and it's a short story, and it's all about in your entrepreneurial journey, what are the lessons that you want to share with new startups, with new entrepreneurs? What are those, stories that you have there that they need to know to be able to help them in their own journey? So be one of the 100 entrepreneurs around the world taking this opportunity. Don't you miss out. The earlier you come in, the more you be in towards the front. All right. So get in today. The close of the submission, the date of the submission is on the 3rd of January. On the 15th of January, the book will be released. It will be released. You don't want to miss this. Check this out. Hello, Miss Myrna. How are you?
I'm excellent. So good to see you again, Vicky.
Nice to see you. You're always looking fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. I decided that I would step into my sensational 70s.
Oh, yeah, why not? You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And it's all about vision board and the activities involving putting that together. So we have heaps of people watching us now on Facebook and on StreamYard. So we will get started shortly. Did you see the video that I put together for you? Vision board video?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'll play it again. You saw it, so I'll play it again. Before.
How wonderful is that?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, what will when we finish, I'll just brand it for you, and then you can have it on your site and use it for your promotions.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vicky.
That's okay. So now, it's time for us to learn from you, Miss Myrna. I've got all the slides here. Just say the word, and then we will get started.
You'll see my hand go up when I need the slides to be moved. Is that okay, Vicky?
Of course, yes.
Well, that'd be fabulous. Thank you. There'll be a lot of high fives happening.
No, we'll be right. We'll be okay.
Okay, what I might do whilst you're doing that is I might actually just introduce myself.
Definitely.
I'm Myrna Widlend, and I am from Brisbane, Australia. I'm an award-winning certified vision board coach, and I help people to use vision boards as a solution tool to gain clarity in their lives, both in their business life and also in their personal life. And so most people that actually come to me because they're going through major challenges in their lives, either in the business life or in their personal life. And I've been doing this for over 9 years. The transformation has been absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So today is going to be a little bit different because, my vision boarding isn't really from A to Z. Very often what happens when I do my vision boarding online, I kind of get a feel of people and then I sense where their challenges lay and then how we're going to be working through it. But I'm just going to trust and I'm going to believe that at the end of it, some of the things that I say is going to be very poignant for you, particularly if you took the time out to be online today. So that's your gift, because 90% of success is about turning up, isn't it? So if you turned up today, then I'm going to really believe that there's something special, a real gift for you that you can take away with you. So if I can maybe just have move the slides 2 times, please, Vicky.
2 times.
2 times,
Okay. Yeah. Is that
okay,
it?
No, just a little bit back. Sorry.
No,
That's the one. That's the one. Okay. So my question to you is, what's a vision board? Some people refer to a vision board as pictures and words of affirmation, and some people even think that it is a craft making session. So I just want to make it very clear that my vision boarding is not a craft making session. It's not about, actually putting pictures on a board. That's not what it's about. There's something a little bit deeper in what we go through. So I was coached by a lady called Joyce Swatch. She is the author of the book, The Vision Board. She's actually an author of, I think, 7 books. And she's also the founder of the Vision Board Institute, which is the only institute of where you can actually get certified. And her name is Joyce Swatch. And Joyce Swatch refers to the vision board as a life planning tool. And I like that. I like to refer to the vision board as a solution tool. Okay. Can you see my hand going up, Vicky? Terrific. So have you ever thought that you could actually use a visual map to overcome challenges? For example, right now, I rang Vicky and I said to Vicky, you know what? I've actually twisted my hip. I had to use visioning in terms of the pain that there was so that I didn't feel that horrible pain, which was really like a knife going through me in that area of my hip. But I've also used vision boarding for when I had an L4 and an L5 disc protrusion, and I wasn't able to walk for 3 months. As well as that, I know you might find this quite incredible, but I actually released 50 kilos using a vision board as well. You can see that vision board down at the bottom there, okay? So I have encountered some amazing transformation using the vision board. I'm raising, okay, great, thank you. So my passion really is to help you identify your vision, find your purpose so that you can live a healthy and a prosperous life, love more, and become the best version of yourself inside and out. So is that okay with everyone else? If you feel that that is something that you would love in your life, to be able to live totally like that, living your life to the fullest. I'm the recipient of the International Certified Vision Board Coach Award for Global Leadership in Leading the Power Vision by the Vision Board Institute. And as I mentioned earlier, it's the only institute where you can actually get certified. So some of the subjects that I studied was vision board creation, success pattern systems, purpose and life design, goal realization in the areas of life visioning, life planning, study on the principles of visioning, color psychology, and vision board statement creation. Now, I saw a very interesting Facebook post, I think it was about a month ago, from somebody that was very high up in the personal development area. And he made a comment, and the comment was, well, my vision board is not anything that I thought it was going to be like for 2020. You see, the interesting thing with him is, if he had had someone like me in his corner, he would have realized that what he was going through was exactly what it is that he needed. Because he would have realized that by having very clear values, being grateful, releasing and letting go of some things, forgiving some things, that he could be spending more time with his family. He could be spending more time with his friends. He could be investing in his health. He could be investing in subjects that he's always thought that he always wanted to learn about, okay? Instead of which, he was complaining and whinging and whining because a lot of the things that he had envisaged for his life hadn't actually come to pass. So the vision boarding that I teach people is to understand how you need to unlock your vision. And I use an acronym which is called GRABS. And that first thing that you want to do is you want to learn how to be grateful. So if 2020, honestly, for anyone that is online today, if 2020 was a really, really, really big lesson for all of us. 2020 was all about us being grateful for what it is that we have. It could have been grateful for our family. It could have been grateful for our health. It could have been grateful for the home that we were in. It could have been grateful for the extra time that we got. Now, I am not in any way saying that there are some people that have not really struggled a great deal with some of the things that they're going through in their lives as a result of COVID-19, okay? But one of the key factors, if you want to have a vision board that totally works for you, then you need to be able to grab a hold of this word called gratitude. The second thing is to release and receive. And what do I mean by releasing and receiving? It's releasing old ideas. I mean, how many of you are still holding on to ideas of what your teacher said to you, what your pastor said to you, what a friend said to you? I mean, a few weeks ago, I had a dear friend that I've known for really, really a long time. And some of the things that she spoke of in my life was very cruel. And I don't know why she decided to do that. She might have been grieving, but it was very cruel. But I had to make the decision to release what had actually been spoken over my life. And I had to receive from myself, I had to receive the gift of where I said to myself, I am worthy, that what was spoken over my life was not a truth. So how much of you are holding on to things in your life which is not truth? You know, it could be something your mother said, your father said, your teacher said, your pastor said, a friend of yours said. The next thing in this acronym is acknowledging and asking. So once you can acknowledge what's actually happening in your life, it's really important to be able to be humble enough to ask people for help. How many of us are trying to get to where we want to get to, and we're trying to do all of this on our own? You're not going to get to your vision on your own. You need your friends to help you. You need your friends to encourage you. You need coaches and mentors to get you to where you want to. So you need to acknowledge the areas that are in your life and then ask for the help that you actually need. The B is to be and to believe. And what do I mean by be? I can tell you right now, more than any other time, This is a time of where people are looking for authenticity. They're tired of the lies. They're tired of the nonsense being spoken. They really just want to know where they stand with people. And more than anything else we need in this life, we need love and we need compassion. And I think if COVID-19 did anything, and this pandemic did anything, it really highlighted this area that we have lost a lot of compassion because we focused a lot on the stuff. Okay. Now, I want to tell you that one of the things in my workshops is I do a lot of people teach you vision boarding, where they teach you how to get the best car that there is, the best house that there is, the boat, all of those things. And I'm not against those things, but we have to get things into priority before we can step into our destiny of our vision. So we have to find a way of how we can be authentic and how we can have a lot of belief in ourselves. You know, I had someone who came and did my workshop with me, and this person had a real challenge in that they came along to the workshop, and their idea of coming along to the workshop is that they really wanted to leave with a board that was going to show them what their business goals look like. Well, that's not the way it worked. God showed them something completely different. What came up on the board was they needed to focus on their family. And they were a little bit confused, but that's exactly what they did, because I said, look, you know, they went back and they focused on their family. Then they came back and they did a business board. Now she is having phenomenal success with the business. So when you create a vision and you create a goal, you need to create it in such a way where you get your priorities correct. Family needs to be first. Spirituality needs to be first. It doesn't mean that I don't believe in the stuff, because I really do love to go to the hairdresser and have my hair done. You know, I love nice clothes, but it's not what makes me. You know, in the same way, what I do doesn't make me either. What makes me is the heart that I have and the compassion that I have for the people that are around me. Lastly, what we want to do is we want to learn how to be able to, when we find these things that we have founded, we want to learn how to be able to share. Because there's no point in having all these things and you're just going to hold it all to yourself, is there? You know, there's something that just happens that when you give, you will receive. Doesn't necessarily mean that the area in which you actually give is where you will receive, but it's just a principle that if you give, you will actually receive as well. So you want to find a way in how you can share, whether that is in community, whether that is with your family, whether that's with your friends or whatever. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you just to spend, and I'm going to go through these very quickly. You may not be able to finish all of this because this is actually a 4-hour workshop that I do, okay? But I want you just to write down, and I'm just going to get you to write down 2 things. Just write down 2 things that you feel particularly grateful right now. What is the thing that you're really grateful right now for? Could be your family. Could be the fact that you're still employed. Could be that, you know, you've just come out of lockdown and you were able to get to a cafe and have a cup of coffee and a nice cake, you know. Could be something that a friend did for you, special for you. You know, what are you thankful for? What are the things you really appreciate for? And I want to give you a really good method that I use, an activity that I use every single day. I haven't done it for the last few days because of my hip, but I do what is known as an alphabetical gratitude walk. So I walk and I say all the things that I'm grateful for, starting from the letter A to the letter Z. It's a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous barometer of where our attitude is, because what I did was, one day I was stuck at the letter Y and I just said, I'm grateful for the yogurt in my fridge. We can always find things that we are grateful for. Think about something that you can thankful for yesterday, even if today started off in not such a good way. What can you be thankful for that happened yesterday? Okay. Next, we're going to look at the release of old ideas and thoughts. I just want you to write down and think about, what are some of the thoughts that you need, ideas that you need to release? Maybe you were at a private school and the nun said something to you. I mean, I remember that I went to a private school with the nuns who were pretty horrible. And I'm sure there's someone here online that experienced something like that. So how can you forgive them? How can you release that old idea and the thoughts? Another thing that I had to release is that I actually worked for someone who told me that I was not creative. I had to spend a lot of time releasing that idea that I was not creative. And the reason why they actually started doing why I actually started doing releasing this is because otherwise we allow other people to decide what our gifts are. The gifts are already there. We've been given it. We've got the wings and we're ready to fly, So let's not stop yourself from flying. And Vicky's just reminding everyone here to start and doing an alphabetical gratitude walk. You will find it will really be a game changer. Honestly, it will be a game changer for you. The ask and the acknowledge, we talked about that. And that is acknowledging where we're at and then asking for help. Who is it that you can go to, that you can say, I need some help? I need you to help me with copywriting. I need you to help me with, I need you to help me with my attitude. I need you to hold me accountable in my health. I need, can you be my walking buddy? Who is someone that you can actually have in your corner that can actually help you to get to where you actually want to get to? So you might be thinking, what has this all got to do with vision boarding? And I don't blame you if you don't quite get it. But this is the foundation. Everything has a foundation. And unless you get the foundation right, it's very challenging to move into your destiny. Okay? If you've got unforgiveness in your life, if you don't have discipline in your life, then it's very challenging to be successful at what it is that you're doing. Or, it may be where you are, you may find that there's some areas in your life that just needs to be, you need to create some changes. And then sometimes what you need is someone along there to open that door for you and to show you the door that you need to be working through. I encourage you to just be, anything and everything is possible. Just be. Be very important. This is actually a brooch, and I wear this brooch to remind me just to be. And for those of people that don't like me when I'm just being, there's not much I can do about it, is there? There's not much that you can do about it. But you will have a lot more peace when you actually just are being who you were designed to actually be. Okay? The next thing is, I talked about sharing, and there are different areas about sharing, and that is in the area of sharing, what is it that you believe about yourself? have you actually come to the conclusion of where you actually believe that you deserve what it is that you are asking for? What is your I am statement? You know, what is it that you can say I am and it really resonates with you and it really, really, really speaks to you? What is some of the things that you can discover from yourself about yourself in this moment? And again, a reminder about gratitude. I can't stress enough how important gratitude really is. I really cannot. Okay? So, who are you going to share your abundance with? By sharing, you're seeding your own harvest in return. For some people, they might be sharing the seed in a charity. You know, some people like the domestic violence area. They like to sow in that life. Some people like to sow into the homeless. Right now, I'm doing quite a lot of work or stepping into the area of, and I'm looking forward to it, in really developing myself to be able to assist a lot of women that are over 50. Because did you know that there's over 50% of women in Australia over 50 that are homeless? I don't know if anyone knows that, okay? That, number one, they're still wearing beautiful clothes from the time that they worked in corporate. They are still got a really lovely car that they bought whilst they were in corporate. But they're actually sleeping on their friend's sofa, and some of them are actually sleeping in their car. So, who can you actually share your abundance with? And to help me to step into that area of abundance, part of my I am statement is I am abundant. And what do I mean by I am abundant? It means that I can help people that really need the help. Okay? Now, this is a really, really interesting area to look at as to, and honestly, I can tell you right now, if you don't forgive yourself and you don't forgive others, you will find that it's very challenging to step into the area of forgiveness and step into the area of your destiny. You know, I had someone in my workshop, and some people looked at this this actual they put a picture. It was very interesting. The picture that they had was a picture of a pasta with some sauce. And when I asked them what that picture meant, they said, oh, that picture was about they loved Italian food. But that's not the download that I actually got. I actually got the fact that that person needed to forgive themselves. And it turned out that that person did something that they've never been able to forgive themselves. Once they were able to forgive themselves, it wasn't actually in the workshop. I actually had a private time with them. They had real difficulty in actually getting a promotion at work. And once they were able to forgive themselves in that area, what happened was that they found themselves being promoted. Because you see, when the human resource people were seeing this guy, he had all the qualifications, but they would have been thinking to themselves, what is it about this guy? What is it? There's something about him. Okay. So once he forgave himself, within 3 months, he actually received a promotion. So think about what it is that you need to forgive yourself for. Okay. So to get started on the vision boarding, this is the things that I have that I've shared with you, which is the foundation. You need to have about 5 magazines. 2 or 3 subjects that you're not very familiar about. You flick through those very quickly and any pictures, words, and phrases that make your heart skip a beat, you actually put those into a folder. And then you need to choose, no matter how many pictures there are, if it's 16, 20, 25, 40, you only choose 8 defining pictures that you put on your board. And you put your picture in the center. And the picture of yourself in the center has to be a very, very joyful picture of yourself in the center. And around there too needs to be the 5 values that you have chosen to live by. Now, I'll tell you why it's so important to have those 5 values that you live by. There's a guy that lives, the guy that actually has a cafe. It's not so far away from where I am. It's just around the corner, one of my favorite cafes. It was very interesting watching him pivot when the pandemic hit. A lot of the local cafes were really panicking. But you see, because this guy had a very strong value, one of his top values was community. And so what he did was he started cooking for the elderly. So when the pandemic ended, or, it's not ended, but, where it just was a little bit more freer, people were queuing to get into his restaurant. And the reason why they were doing that is because they loved the fact that he was community-minded. So you remember that VIP with the personal development company that I spoke to you about earlier on? If he had had very strong values, he would not have been thrown by the wind about what was really happening to him. In the same way that this cafe owner was not really thrown by the wind either, because their strong value was community. And in the same way for me too, with my community, with my values, it made it a lot easier to take my actual masterclasses online. Yes, it was very difficult, and yes, it was very frustrating, and yes, I had to learn a lot of skills, but because I stuck to the reasons as to why I was doing and my values, it just made things a lot easier. Okay? So some of the things you're going to find when you actually put your pictures down, you're going to find that there are going to be certain colors that you gravitate to when you are pulling the pictures out and when you're putting them out on the board. And I help you not only to understand what those colors actually mean, but also how the pictures have been placed. Because it's not a random thing when you're putting the pictures together. It's not because you want to be more creative. Most people are quite shocked when I show the connection between the pictures and where they've actually been placed. And so that's where it becomes very helpful to have me in your corner to be able to help you, to show you how those pictures have actually, what those pictures actually mean in terms of the colors that you've chosen, and also what it means in terms of where you have actually placed it. So anything that we do, we have to have action steps attached to them, don't we? Because how you feel about your vision board is really, really important. So it has to make you feel energized. It has to inspire you. You have to have a vivid mental picture of your target. You've got to place the board in an area that you can see it every day. You have to speak out the vision. I have a lot of triggers of words and pictures in different areas of my home. So if I look around, it's a word that I have here is just you. That's a word that I have. Your own kind of beautiful is something else that I have around here too. I am compassionate. I am love. When you speak those things over yourself over every single day, you will be amazed on how it actually changes things around you. And I can tell you it works because, right now, I'm not speaking about the pain that I have in my hip area. I'm just speaking healing. Because if I spoke pain, it's not going to help you. It's not really going to help me, you know. So I'm just speaking healing over what is actually happening with my hip. The other thing you want to do is you also want to watch movies that inspire you. You know, if someone can maybe type in the text box, what is a movie that really inspires you? And watch this after today. Go and watch that movie, you know, and watch it if it really, really inspires you. You need to find an accountability partner. You need to be able to take classes because you have to improve your skills. You have to find new skills to be able to step into where you want to be. More importantly, you also have to volunteer and find a mentor, and you also have to practice your craft. There's no point having all these gifts and you're not practicing it. Do some research as well in the areas that you're in. Connect with people who do what it is that you do, and connect with people who support with what you do, and then find resources that you can actually tap into. I mean, I think we're incredibly blessed having such a talented, wonderful person like Vicky. I mean, she always surprises me because she's always coming up with, you know, amazing things, isn't she? You have to get inspired. I sometimes think, where did that idea come from that she just got? She's just incredible, you know. So you want to be around people that inspire you and that you need to tap into the resources. And the most important thing is how you feel about that vision board is really, really, really important. So I want you to think of 3 things that you can do once you've got your vision board. And then that's something that you will step into. So, summarizing, you need your vision statement on the top of your board. You need an I am statement or a scripture. Depends on whatever it is that you want to choose. You need a power word. What do I mean by a power word? A power word is, and I encourage you to actually buy this book. It's called The 2 Chairs by Bob Beaudine. And it teaches you how to be able to have a conversation with God. Imagining God sitting in one chair and you're sitting in another and you're having a conversation, and you just ask him what the power word is for you for the year. So the power word that I was actually given for 2020 was I am abundant. So even though things were happening to me, I held on to that word that was given to me, which was that I am abundant. You need to have your values. I can't state how important it is for you to actually have your values. You know, it's really challenging when you don't get clear about your values and you don't live your values. And then you want your picture in the center of the board, and it has to be a very joyful picture. You know, a picture that when you look at, you just remember that moment that you experienced. Okay? So you can connect with me to book me either as a speaker on vision boards at your next event, or you can book a vision board workshop, a Zoom one, a Zoom online vision board or masterclass. And also, I want to be able to answer any questions for anyone that is online at the moment. If there's, you know, maybe give me a couple of things that really resonated with you with this presentation, and let me know how I can actually support you.
Thank you so much, Myrna, for that wonderful presentation. Zenel Brown, she's watching right now. She's asking, you mentioned a book called 2 Chairs. What is the title of the book again?
It's called 2 Chairs.
Yes.
And it's by Bob Beaudine.
By Bob
Beaudine. I'll just put the name on there. It's BOB Beaudine. It's a game changer. Honestly, it's a real game changer.
Okay. All right. She said, I'm an everyday inclusionist. I'm not sure what she was trying to say there.
She said what?
Okay. I'm an everyday inclusionist.
Oh, inclusiveness. Okay, so I think what she's saying, correct me if I'm correct here, what you're saying is that you practice inclusiveness every day, that you're aware in how to be able to include people. Is that correct? Inclusiveness?
Yeah, she will get back to us. Now, you asked about a book, a movie, or a movie that inspires people. Our comment was Michelle Obama's documentary.
I haven't watched that. Thank you. That will prompt me to go and watch that because I've not watched it. Thank you.
And Robert Brooker said, values are one of the things I did get to keep. Then he also said, do I get too much inspirational material every day? Maybe. I think it's good. And then to your explanation about inclusionist, Zanel responded to it as yes, that yes, you got that right.
And that's really important because let me tell you how inclusiveness means. What do you do when you meet up with someone who has a disability? Do you just walk past them, or do you find a way in which you can help them?
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going through other comments here. I like the gratitude by Alphabet. And she said, forgiveness and sharing are very important. Yeah, and a few others. But now you've given us ideas and different things that we need to put together to be able to create our vision board for 2021. So for everyone watching or that may be watching later, you need to go back. The slides are there. And if you need a copy to the slides, am I able to give them out?
Yes,
Myrna?
they are. Yes, they are. All I would ask is just a disclosure on there, please, that the slides have copyright on them because the grabs is a copyright. So it's not to be used in anything else. Yeah, yeah. But no, they're more than welcome to the slides, yeah.
Okay. So because it's very important for them to go through, and whenever they are creating their vision board, they need to be able to remember that it's also important to know what their values are.
Yes.
Share the story of the restaurant owner that included its vision, his values in his business. And when most cafe owners and restaurants are closing down due to the impact of the COVID, is actually booming. Why? Because its value played out when things were down a little bit. So at the end of the day, in putting the vision board together, it's important to remember what our values are and actually highlight it in what we do. And the other thing that I'm really impressed with, and I'm actually going to start doing myself, is the gratitude walk. And Zanel also said the same thing. Yeah. So there's another question about who was the author of the Two Chairs book, please. And I think I'll put this on there later. You said the name of the author of the Two Chairs is Bob Beadin, right?
Bob Beaudine. So it's Bob, and then Beaudine.
All right. Okay. I will put it on for everyone to see so that if they want to buy, they can go and get it, because apparently it's really it's helping you with the vision board, putting it together and helping numerous people with it.
Yes.
Hmm. And how do you find doing this? Like how we did it today. It's not the same thing as doing one-on-one, but of course we have to make do with whatever we can, especially with the situation of things.
Yes, it's it's a, you can't really do it. I'm not saying you can't really do it. It's not quite as effective.
It's not the same,
We're
yeah.
we're doing it this way, but what I'm doing is I'm giving you an outline. But when you have a group and people are talking, then I can sense what's going on and I can be much more helpful. Or if it's one on one, I can be much more helpful and I can give a lot more insights. And obviously, because you're doing the board with me, I can see what it is you're doing. And so I can actually give you the input that way. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But at least we've done this, and I believe that so many people will benefit from it, because I'm actually going to spend some time today and tomorrow putting mine together for
Fabulous.
2020.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Mm.
And can I just also suggest that you also think of what you're doing for the rest of 2020. Don't discard 2020 because the few days that we have left can be in preparation for 2021.
Definitely, definitely.
Mm.
Mm, definitely. All right. You've added so much value to our viewers' lives, to my life. And I just want to say a very big thank you to you for being in my circle, the circle of influence. I want to say thank you to you, Mina. I appreciate you so much.
It's very mutual, Vicky. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what 2021 will bring to each and every one of us, especially in the Global Achievers
Yes.
Club.
Yes.
What we are going to be able to achieve, and I believe we will achieve so much more. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, Now, there's a question here for you, Mina. Zenel, she's asking, what is the importance? I mean, what is the importance about the number of pictures?
That's very important. It's Have you ever heard of the word shiny objects? Shiny
Mm,
objects? So
yes.
shiny objects is when you chase a whole load of things, isn't it? And it becomes very confusing. The
Mm-hmm,
mind can only take in so much. I've
mm,
seen boards that have been so cluttered, incredibly cluttered, and it's very hard to move through that to know what it is to step into first. So if you only have 8 pictures, it means that you can focus on 8 things because very often the pictures that you have there is what you need to be stepping into.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just am not, I've seen boards that have been absolutely chock-a-block with pictures from one corner to the other corner. The mind just gets very, very, very confused.
Mm. So it's important to make it simple.
It's to keep it simple and
Mm,
then to step into something one step at a time. I don't know, was it on your page? Someone put something on the page where they talked about big steps and little steps. Some of those little steps is a lot more powerful than big steps because you can get to where you want to with the little
mm-hmm.
steps.
It's true. Robert said, yes, I used to have shiny object syndrome and also shiny opportunity syndrome.
I understand that, Robert. I went through that myself too. So I've had to work through that too. Yeah.
All right. So I think that's what we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your knowledge with us. We'll see how we go for 2021, but it's been great this year despite everything that has happened. At the end of the day, we're still grateful. We're grateful
We're still
for
standing, Vicky. We're still standing.
we're still we're still standing, we're still here.
We're
So
still here.
it's about now being grateful for all that we have, for who we are, for where
Yeah.
we are. I mean,
Yeah.
I was actually speaking to someone yesterday, my insurance broker, and what we both talk about was um, how we could still find great gratitude in the situation, in the COVID situation, even though to all of us it was a shock. And he was saying to me, he used to have a cafe. He's an insurance guy, he's an accountant, he's got his couple of businesses, and he also had a cafe. And he said it was during the COVID, and he had it in the city, right? And there wasn't anybody in the city. Of course, there wasn't any business for him there. So he closed down, and he said he wasn't expecting that he would have so much peace after doing that. That, but what he gave him was he gave him his wife back because they were kind of like growing apart, and he was
I'm
able
getting
to take.
goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, he was able to take some time to actually breathe and be present and be with his wife. And he said that it's so, it just can't explain it to me how he is being like, life can be so good without all the busyness that he had been so accustomed to for so many years. And he said, I'm grateful. I am grateful. I'm really grateful. It's hard to say to other people, but I know you can understand, Vicky, but I am grateful. I'm grateful that COVID made me to be more present. COVID
Beautiful.
made me to realize what is more important in my life. COVID made me to see things in a new light.
Yeah.
COVID gave me my wife back. COVID gave me my life back.
Yeah.
And he also said something. He said, when he had to give up his business, he had to stop and send his staff away and all that kind of stuff. He was having palpitations. And then the palpitations became the right side of his hand becoming numb, his right side becoming numb. So he went to the doctor and he went to the hospital. Tests were done, MRI was done. He had BP, high blood pressure that I didn't know he had.
Wow.
And if not because of COVID and for him to just step back and reassess things, and then for him to focus on his health and get it looked into, only God knows what could have happened. He said, it gave me my life back because now he's on medication and it's all okay now. And he said, I'm happy, Vicky. I'm really happy. COVID helped me in that way, you know. So despite all that, we all still have things to be grateful for. So if we can find that thing to focus on and make it something that we share to say, oh, I'm grateful because yeah, this happened, but I'm grateful. It gave me this opportunity. This happened. And you actually highlighted that about when we're doing our um vision, whether it's Vision 2021, vision board for 2021, or we are assessing or assessing what happened this year. And there are things that didn't work that we couldn't mark off on our vision board. Not to focus on that and start feeling sad or feeling that we failed, but to look at what have we been able to do that we can still be grateful for.
And Vicky, what is very important too is also understanding that a vision board can be a battle board. Because 2021, we're going to have to go into battle.
Exactly.
The most important thing we have to do is the battlefield of the mind. We'll have to protect the mind and the heart.
And when I hear that from you, I could imagine us having two people in each and every one of us. That fear of what could happen again, because none of us plan for what happened this year, right? So what could happen? What may happen next year? We didn't know. So when you said it's a battle, it can be a battleground. I can imagine that happening even individually, having that inner dialogue about why waste my time doing all this? What if this happen again? And blah 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 blah. That can be a distraction, I believe. So
yes, it's about. It can be like resignation, just saying, well, I'm not going to bother doing anything because if I do it, it's not going to work anyway. Which we know isn't true. It's not true, because we have to work according to the gifts that we've been given. And whether they work out or not doesn't matter. There is a learning in that process.
It's true. It's true. It's true. So yeah, it's been great having you here, Mina. Thank you so much, and thank you to our viewers, Zanelle Brown, Robert Brooker, and many, many more. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to scroll up and down. Yeah. So thank you all very much. We appreciate you. I appreciate you, Mina. Have a lovely, lovely rest of the week.
Thank you.
I will definitely catch up with you. Look after yourself, please.
Yes, I will. I will. I will. I will. I will. Yes, I will. Thank you.
Right. You take care. God bless.
God bless you too. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So that was Myrna Widlend, our vision board queen, sharing knowledge, sharing vision board, how we can create our own vision board for 2021. If you haven't yet, I would strongly advise that you do. And if you need any of the slides or that Mina shared with us, please request for it, and then we will send it to you. It's been great having you here again today. Next week, we won't have the show because I'm taking the time off. I'm taking a week off, but I'll be back again the week after. So until then, when we bring you a lovely, lovely guest again, you take care and have enjoy the rest of the week, and may God bless you. Bye.